Good afternoon and welcome to the Public Service Commission of South Carolina. It is Thursday, January 26th at 2 p.m. and we are present for our regularly scheduled commission business meeting. Let's take a roll call of commissioners. With us virtually today we have Commissioner Caston, Commissioner Irvin, and Commissioner Thomas. And present in the hearing room we have Commissioner Justin Williams, Vice Chair Powers, Commissioner Carolee Williams, and Chair Belser. I invite you to join me for a moment of silent reflection before we begin the meeting. Thank you very much. Mr. Scarborough, how are you today?
Fine, thank you, ma'am. Hope you are.
Fine, thank you.
Good. Good afternoon, Madam Chair, and good afternoon, Vice Chair Powers and Commissioners. First order of business is to set the next commission business meeting. Staff recommends that the next regularly scheduled meeting be held on Thursday, February the 2nd, 2023 at 2 o'clock p.m.
We will set the next regularly scheduled meeting for Thursday, February 2nd at 2 p.m.
Today we have 12 items on our utilities agenda and 5 items on our transportation agenda. Item number 1 is in docket number 2020-171C. This is the notice of cancellation of bond for Clear Rate Communications Incorporated, filed on behalf of Hartford Fire Insurance Company.
Commissioners, we've heard agenda item 1 identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I have a motion.
Vice Chair Powers.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the Commission order Clear Rate Communications LLC, formerly known as Clear Rate Communications Incorporated, to provide an original surety bond of security in the amount of $100,000 payable to the Public Service Commission of South Carolina no later than 30 days from the date of service of this order. This performance bond shall be maintained by the Commission. Failure by Clear Rate to timely file a replacement performance bond with the Commission in the amount of $100,000 shall subject Clear Rate to suspension and or cancellation of its certificate of public need and necessity and its authority to offer telecommunication services within the state of South Carolina, as well as to other penalties and liabilities allowed by law. I further move the Commission asks the Office of Regulatory Staff to review this matter and contact the designated representative on file for the company to ascertain the status of the company. So moved.
Thank you, Vice Chair Powers. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from the Vice Chairman. Is there any discussion? Commissioner Williams? Justin Williams? I'm sorry, I just saw your mic on. Commissioners, any questions? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 2 is in docket number 2023-20G. This is the request for approval of the service agreement with Firm Gas between Rolls-Royce Solutions America Incorporated and Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated.
Commissioners, we've heard agenda item 2 identified. Is there a motion?
Chair Belser, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carolee Williams is recognized.
Thank you. I move that the Commission approve the service agreement with Firm Gas between Rolls-Royce Solution America, Inc. and Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated. I note that the Office of Regulatory Staff filed a letter with the Commission dated January 20th, 2023, stating that it did not object to the approval of this agreement.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 3 is in docket number 2006-401G. This is a request from Piedmont Natural Gas Company Incorporated for approval of its gas cost recovery mechanism, GCRM-157.
Commissioners, we've heard agenda item 3 identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas?
thank you. I move that the Commission grant approval of Piedmont Natural Gas Company's GCRM 157 effective with the first billing cycle in February 2023, and thereafter until further notice. On January 13, 2023, Piedmont requested Commission approval of this rate decrease in GCRM 157 and for expedited consideration by the Commission no later than January 31st, 2023. Piedmont requests a decrease in its benchmark cost of gas from the current $4.75 per decatherm to $2.75 per decatherm. This change is necessary to mitigate future overcollection in Piedmont's gas cost deferred account. The rate changes proposed herein are a decrease of 0.20354 cents per therm for sales rate schedules 201, 202, 242, 252, 203, and 204, and a decrease of 0.00354 cents per therm for transportation rate schedules 213 and 214. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 4 is in docket number 2019-290WS. This concerns complaints from 40 Love Point residents regarding routine and periodic maintenance by Blue Granite Water Company of utilities Let's tank system.
Regarding Utilities Agenda Item 4, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I have a motion.
Vice Chair Powers.
Thank you, Madam Chair. By order number 2020-306, the Commission required Blue Granite Water Company to provide quarterly reports to the Commission and ORS to include, among other requirements, details of every customer complaint and the resolution of every complaint. By letter dated January 6, 2023, Council for 40 Love Point Homeowners Association advised the Commission that Blue Granite's report for the period of October through December 2022 did not include numerous complaints from residents of 40 Love Point. By letter dated January 24, 2023, Blue Granite Water Company filed a response to the letter of the 40 Love Point Homeowners Association regarding the alleged discrepancies and omissions in the customer complaint report filed by Blue Granite Water Company for the fourth quarter of 2022. I move that the Commission direct the company to include the complaints referenced in the January 6, 2023 letter of 40 Love Point Homeowners Association in their next quarterly filings pursuant to order number 2020-306, and that all the detailed reporting included in the ORS reports be included in the Commission reports going forward, as suggested in Blue Granite's response letter. I further move Blue Granite continue to address the customer complaints outlined in the 40 Love Point Homeowners Association's letter and provide an update to the Commission concurrent with their next quarterly report. I so move.
Thank you, Vice Chair Powers. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote. Vice Chair Powers.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 5 appears in docket number 2023-19E. This is a request for acceptance for filing of the Renewable Power Purchase Agreement between Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and Lone Star Solar LLC, and a request for confidential treatment of certain portions of the agreement.
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston? Yes.
I just
Well-
realized,
Let's finish this item and we'll go back. How about that?
yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Commissioners, with regard to agenda item 5 as identified by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I have a motion.
Vice Chair Powers?
I move the Commission accept for filing the Renewable Power Purchase Agreement between Dominion Energy South Carolina, Inc. and Lone Star Solar LLC. Further, I move the Commission grant the request for confidential treatment for certain portions of the agreement.
Thank you, Vice Chair Powers. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries. Let's go back to agenda item 4, which was the Blue Granite Water Company matter involving the letter from 40 Love Point Homeowners Association. Commissioner Caston, I had called upon you to vote. I should not have. I believe you're recused in that item. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, and my apologies for voting when I should not have.
Well, mine too for calling, not recognizing it earlier. The vote sheet needs to reflect that Commissioner Caston is recused on agenda item 5, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Item
I'm
number
sorry, item 4. Ms. Hill is keeping me straight.
Item number 6 appears in docket number 2019-386E. This is Dominion Energy Incorporated's amended and restated intercompany credit agreement with South Carolina Generating Company Incorporated, Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated, SCANA Corporation, and South Carolina Fuel Company Incorporated. The Office of Regulatory Staff has requested that this item be carried over to allow it to have more time to complete its review.
Agenda item 6 is carried over.
Item number 7 also is in docket number 2019-386E. This is the inventory purchase and sale agreement between Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and Dominion Energy Nuclear Connecticut Incorporated. Once again, the Office of Regulatory Staff has requested that this item be carried over to allow it to have more time to complete its review.
Item 7 is carried over.
Item number 8 appears in docket number ND 2022-30-E. Staff presents for commission consideration nominees for the technical advisory team and other issues related to the renewable energy and emerging energy technologies study. I recognize Lance Holt, who will list the nominees for the technical advisory team.
Mr. Holt?
Madam Chair Belzer, Vice Chair Powers, Commissioners, after Commission approval and issuance of Order 2022-755 on November 3rd, 2022, invitations to participate on the technical advisory team were issued to several stakeholder groups that included electrical utilities, renewable and emerging energy technology providers, industrial customers, and South Carolina state agencies. Staff would now like to present the Commission for Commission consideration the following nominees for the technical advisory team that responded with interest in participating. If you could see, Dr. Adele Nasiri, University of South Carolina, Alex Butler, South Carolina Office of Resilience, Chris Wagner, South Carolina Public Service Authority, also known as Santee Cooper, Eddie Moore, Coastal Conservation League, Mark Sverchek, Central Electric Power Cooperative, Dr. Johan Inslin from Clemson University, Stephen Chris, Walmart Incorporated, Lisa Perry, Walmart Incorporated, Rob Bedenbaugh, South Carolina Department of Transportation, Justin Powell, South Carolina Department of Transportation, David A. Butcher, Piedmont Municipal Power Association, Brian Stone, Lockhart Power Company, Pandalis Zathankos from Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated, Mike Smith, the Electric Cooperatives of South Carolina, Hamilton Davis, Southern Current LLC, Mike Levenga, Nucor Steel, Joel Ledbetter, South Carolina Association of Municipal Power Systems, Chris Huber, South Carolina Office of Regulatory Staff, Stanley Iakwizu, South Carolina State University, Susie Shannon, on behalf of the South Carolina Department of Commerce, John Frick, the Electric Cooperatives of South Carolina, and a representative to be named from Duke Energy Carolinas and Duke Energy Progress, LLC. This completes the names.
Thank you, Mr. Holt. Commissioners, we've heard item 8 identified and the members of the TAT named. Is there a motion?
Chair Belzer, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
The commission is authorized to initiate an independent study to evaluate the integration of renewable energy and emerging energy technology into the electric grid for the public interest pursuant to South Carolina Code Section 58-37-60. Thus, the action is for the commission to appoint the members of the technical advisory team as created by Directive Order Number 2022-755. I move that the commission appoint the 21 persons identified by Mr. Holt as members of the commission's technical advisory team in accordance with Order 2022-755. The names of the individuals presented and shown by Mr. Holt during our commission business meeting shall be attached as Exhibit A to the commission directive approving and accepting their membership should this motion pass. I further move for Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC to designate its selected representative who will participate as a member of the Commission's technical advisory team no later than March 1st, 2023. The Commission's technical advisory team is directed to meet via virtual or telephonic means at least once between April 1st, 2023 and May 15th, 2023. To select its chair and vice chair from its membership, and to schedule its second meeting no earlier than July 1st, 2023. The Commission sincerely appreciates the work of staff and the work of these individuals and their organizations to serve on the Commission's technical advisory team to help our state by evaluating the integration of renewable energy and emerging energy technology into the electric grid. I so move. I do have a comment to make.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion? Commissioner Carolee Williams is recognized.
Thank you. As we consider these items, new ideas come to us, and I just wanted to pass on to staff the consideration that where we have two people representing the same company, that the Technical Advisory Committee take up how they're going to count those votes. That's one of those realities of two people serving the same entity and the same interests that I recommend that the committee evaluate how they're going to handle. But that does not change my motion. It's just a suggestion.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, any further discussion? Commissioner Williams, I really appreciate that clarification. I was wondering the same thing. We'll now proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 9 is in docket number 2022-401E. This is a request from Dominion Energy South Carolina for approval of revisions to its rate 17, rate 18, rate 25, rate 26, and residential subdivision street lighting tariffs.
Commissioners, we've heard Mr. Scarborough identify agenda item 9. Is there a motion?
Chair Belser, I have another motion.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Thank you. On December 22nd, 2022, Dominion Energy South Carolina, or DESC, filed a request to revise some of its tariffs regarding municipal street lighting, underground or decorative street lighting, overhead floodlighting, or overhead private street lighting, and residential subdivision street lighting. While the Office of Regulatory Staff advised the Commission on January the 25th, 2023, that ORS does not object to Dominion Energy South Carolina's changes in its street lighting tariffs, I have questions that I recommend be answered first, and additional information that can be provided to by Dominion prior to the Commission's decision. I move that the Commission direct Dominion Energy South Carolina to answer the following questions and to provide the information requested by the Commission within 15 business days following the service of this order by the Clerk's Office for the Public Service Commission of South Carolina. Number 1, why is Dominion Energy South Carolina proposing to no longer offer high-pressure sodium or metal halide lights for new installations? For example, cost, efficiency, light quality, availability. Number 2, to the extent not answered in question number 1, are high-pressure sodium or metal halide lights still available commercially for purchase by Dominion? Number 3, are there operational differences in high-pressure sodium lights or metal halide lights from LED lights? If so, explain. On a per lumen basis, why do LEDs have a higher monthly lamp charge to the customer than the high-pressure sodium or the metal halide? And finally, for any existing customer using high-pressure sodium or metal halide lights, if the inventory for that light is exhausted and they must replace it with an LED, will customers be responsible for any cost associated with the change to LED lights? For example, new pole or fixture cost. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion? Commissioner Williams, I appreciate your questions. I've seen over the years instances where fixtures change and requirements change and these things change all the time and or occasionally and I was ready to go ahead and just approve it, but I certainly appreciate your questions and would like for you to get answers to those to ease your mind, so I will be supporting your motion. Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote and begin with Commissioner Carolyn Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 10 is in docket number 2022-298E. This is a request of Duke Energy Carolinas LLC for approval of a modification to its Power Manager Load Control Service program.
Commissioners, with regard to agenda item 10, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I have a motion.
Commissioner Irvin?
Thank you. I move that the Commission grant the request of Duke Energy Carolinas LLC for approval of modifications to its Power Manager Load Control Service program and the related tariff. Modification would add a winter-focused option through the use of a load control device for customers that do not have a smart thermostat. It is expected that the program will result in load reductions during the winter months. Further move that the cost associated with the implementation of this program modification be eligible for recovery through the company's EEDSM rider pursuant to the existing cost recovery mechanism. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Irvin. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Irvin. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 11 is in docket number 2022-168A. This is a request for the Office of Regulatory Staff to recommend future action to be taken in this docket concerning the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act.
Commissioners, with regard to agenda item 11, as identified by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Chair Belser?
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams?
Thank you. I move that the Commission require semi-annual reports from certain regulated utilities under Commission jurisdiction addressing the following topics. Efforts of the utility to obtain directly or indirectly federal grants, low-interest loans, or other benefits under the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, the IIJA. A quantification of net benefits provided or expected to be provided to customers as a result of the federal grants, low-interest loans, or other benefits of the IIJA. Information on any regulatory obstacles to receiving benefits under the IIJA and recommendations for potential actions by the Commission to enable greater access to the IIJA funds. This requirement should only apply to regulated electric utilities with over 100,000 customers, regulated natural gas local distribution companies, and Class A water and wastewater companies. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carolee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Vote aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 12 appears in docket number 2021-324WS. This is the request from Kiowa Island Utility Incorporated for waiver of the 60-day notice requirement of the commission and authorization to pass along an increase in water rates to its customers after providing customers with the required 30-day notice.
With regard to agenda item 12, is there a motion?
Chair Belser.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Thank you. On January 20th, 2023, Kiowa Island Utility, Inc., who I'll refer to as Kiowa, informed the Commission that it received a letter the day before on January the 19th from St. John's Water Company, Inc., SJWC. The SJWC letter notified Kiowa that an increase in rates for their wholesale customers became effective on January 1st, 2023. From Kiowa's filing, SJWC sent a letter to Kiowa advising that Charleston Water System gave notice to SJWC by letter dated September 19th, 2022, and I quote, that the wholesale price of water would be increasing. The current price per 1,000 gallons of water is $3.51.6. As of January 1st, 2023, the price will increase to $3.69 per 1,000 gallons. See SJWC's letter dated January 12th, 2023. Kiowa also enclosed the letter from Charleston Water System provided by SJWC to advise of a 2023 rate increase and changes to the municipal wholesale rate. Since Kiowa received notice of the increase after the increase became effective, Kiowa asked the Commission waive the 60 days notice as required by Kiowa's tariff approved in Commission Order Number 2022-376A. Additionally, Kiowa asked the Commission to allow it to pass this increase on to our customers, and I'm quoting, after providing them the required 30-day written notice, end quotes. I move that the Commission approve Kiowa's request to waive the 60-day notice requirement since it did not receive notice of the wholesale rate increase until after it became effective. I further move that the Commission allow for Kiowa to pass along the increase of 17 cents per 1,000 gallons to each consumption tier in each potable water customer class. Kiowa shall provide notice of this rate adjustment increase and pass along to its customers either before, such as in a special mailing, or contemporaneously, such as a conspicuous notice on the bill or by a bill insert, with the first bill rendered after the new rates take effect following 30 days notice to its customers, which Kiowa believes will be no earlier than February 27th. Kiowa must file proof with Commission confirming that Kiowa did provide the required 30 days notice of the pass-along increase to customers, while also providing a copy of the notice and stating how and when such notice was provided. Revised tariff shall be filed within 10 days of receipt of this order, consistent with this pass-along increase and with the Commission's rules and regulations. The tariff should be electronically filed in a text-searchable PDF format using the Commission's DMS system, which is found at https://dms.psc.sc.gov. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner, so we've heard the motion from Commissioner Carolee Williams. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Urban?
I have a question. May I ask Commissioner Carolee Williams, do we have a copy of the contract from the wholesale provider with Kiowa Island Utility? If so, what, if any, notice do they have to give Kiowa prior to instituting a rate increase?
I have not seen that contract. If someone else would like to help me, I would appreciate it. What we do have that was filed was a letter from the St. John's Water Company that clearly is providing the notice of increase after it went into effect.
Well, it seems to me that we need to do one of two things. We need to carry it over and ask for a copy of their contract or agreement to see what notice provisions are provided in the agreement to protect ratepayers from retroactive rate increase. Or alternatively, we need to ask the Office of Regulatory Staff to review the agreement, see if it complies with their rules and regulations and existing law. This seems to me that it's unfair to come in and ask for retroactive water rate increase without providing the agreement between the parties so that we could determine whether or not notice is required. If it's not required, then the party should be directed to amend the agreement so as to provide prior notice so this situation doesn't arise again.
Commissioner,
Chair, I'd like to.
may I?
Yes.
Kiowa Utilities has been purchasing potable water from St. John's since I've been involved with the commission and ORS. I can't tell you what the agreement says, but the tariff provision that has been approved by this commission for the pass-through that is approved for Kiowa to collect the cost of potable water is what we have been concentrating on here. Now, it is a direct pass-through. The utility does not earn any return or any profit on the cost of that water. They are kind of I hate to say captive customer, but Kiowa is really a captive customer of somebody down there. They don't have, my recollection is they don't have wells. This is not a situation of retroactive rate making because Kiowa, our regulated utilities, will not start charging the increased rate until 30-day notice has been provided to the customers. I mean, I agree that it is concerning that St. John's did not give Kiowa Utility appropriate notice prior to the January 1st increase, but I don't see this as a situation of retroactive rate making, and Kiowa has come in and this happens periodically when they get a notice for the third-party bulk provider going up, that they have to come in and get the pass-through cost. And it's called a pass-through cost because it is a direct pass-through of the cost of water without any markup. And they have to do this periodically. But they're going to be going at least a month paying an increased charge that they're not going to be able to recoup from the customers. Now, I don't mind if we need to look at the contract and see if there's a recommendation that we could make to Kiowa to go look at it going forward. But as far as what's before us today, they are complying with the provision of their tariff and asking for a waiver. Generally, they give 60-day notice to the commission before the increase, and then, or try to give 60-day notice, and then at least 30-day notice to the customers. Because the increase from the bulk supplier has already occurred, they're asking to waive that 60 days, but to afford the customers 30-day notice.
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston?
as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, St. John's was notified by Charleston CPW, whom they buy it from, in September 2022. And St. John's did not notify Kiowa until
Until
very recently.
January.
last week, I think, and that's the way I read the documentation as well.
So that said, and they're not passing on, they're going to be eating that additional cost until the 30-day notice. I really don't see any issue with that. If that, does that sort of clear anything up, or did I make it muddier?
That's the understanding I have, Commissioner Caston.
Mine as well. I think there may be some follow-up that Kiowa wants to have regarding this circumstance, but whether we're the best people to get involved at this point, I think it's not the right time.
Would you consider a friendly amendment which asks the Office of Regulatory Staff to look into the matter and report back to the commission with their recommendations? Because if they did get notice, as Commissioner Caston says, in September of 2022, why did they wait until now to come bring this to the commission's attention? This doesn't seem fair to me. I don't see that, if the rule says 60 days, I don't see a justification for waiving the 60-day rule.
Commissioner Urban, I'll accept your friendly amendment.
Wait a minute. Can I address that? I'm sorry. The tariff provides that the regulated utility, which is Kiowa, give the commission try to give 60-day notice prior to the effective date of the increase, and then the regulated utility Kiowa has to give their customers at least 30-day notice of the increase. St. John's is not a regulated utility. We have no jurisdiction over either St. John's, who Kiowa purchases from. It's a special purpose district, or one of these entities that we don't have jurisdiction over. My understanding is that St. John's purchases water from Charleston water system. We don't have jurisdiction over them. I think in the business world they should be giving notice, but Kiowa, I don't see from the documentation we have where our regulated utility did anything incorrectly. It is St. John's that failed to give the regulated utility, who is the customer of St. John's, proper notice. Now, I don't know what recourse Kiowa may have against St. John's, but we don't have jurisdiction over St. John's, and ORS doesn't either. ORS only has jurisdiction over those entities that the commission has jurisdiction over.
Well, one recommendation that the Office of Regulatory Staff might have is a statutory change which requires these non-regulated utilities to give sufficient legal notice prior to a rate increase going into effect. I don't think it's fair to Kiowa. I don't think it's fair to their customers to be treated this way. And that was one thought I had, is perhaps a change in the law needs to be made for them to give sufficient notice and time for regulated utility, in this case Kiowa, to give their customers notice as required by regs and statute. So I still would like for the Office of Regulatory Staff to look into it and make whatever recommendations they deem appropriate.
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston?
I think you are correct that St. John's is, I think, an SPD. That said, you could make this determination probably better than I could, but I don't know that the commission should suggest that laws change for SPDs or other utilities. That certainly Kiowa can pursue their contractual differences or obligations or questions or concerns they have with St. John's. But if it's okay with Commissioner Urban and the rest of the commission, I believe the motion as proposed is appropriate and appropriate for the commission at this juncture.
Well, I appreciate your comments, Madam Chair and Commissioner Caston. I have a better understanding of what happened after hearing these explanations. But we're a party, a regulated utility that comes before us has been treated unfairly through no fault of their own, which also results in a rate increase to customers without proper notice. I think that calls for rectification, and it may be a regulatory, Office of Regulatory Staff certainly can make a recommendation for changing the law. That it's only fair that people get proper notice of rate increases, even when they result from the actions of an unregulated utility. So for that reason, I'm going to be voting no on the motion. Thank you.
Commissioner Urban?
Yes.
I accept your friendly amendment, and I want to suggest the following language. And perhaps we'll need to take the motion up in two parts. But here, from listening to this discussion, I suggest that in addition, I recommend that the ORS look into the matter of the contract requirements regarding notice between a bulk provider and a regulated utility.
I like that amendment, and I accept it as an amendment.
Wait a minute,
to the original motion.
This is her motion. She's the one that has to accept it.
Okay, I support her motion.
So you've asked to amend your motion, Commissioner Williams?
Yes, and I've stated what that amendment would be, and I am happy to restate it if that's helpful.
Just because we've kind of been going, Commissioners, is there any objection? I'm not going to call the roll, but if anybody objects, please. Hearing none, we will now, are we through with discussion? Anybody else have anything they want to discuss? Okay, hearing nothing further, we will proceed on the amended motion. Do we need to restate it? Hearing no, we'll go forward with a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carolee Williams on the amended motion.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion, as amended, carries.
Madam
Thank
Chair, that completes the utilities agenda before the commission. So moving on to the transportation agenda, motor carrier agenda. Item numbers 1 through 3, a request for Class C certificates. Staff recommends that these items be taken together, and I will review them for the commission. Item number 1 appears in docket number 2023-18T, which is the application of Scott Support Services, LLC, for a Class C charter certificate. Item number 2 is in docket number 2023-21T. This is the application of Royal Non-Emergency Medical Transportation, LLC, for a Class C stretcher van certificate. Item number 3 is in docket number 2023-22T. This is the application of Eco Green Dog, LLC, doing business as Coastal Coaches, for a Class C charter certificate.
Commissioners, we've heard transportation agenda items 1 through 3 identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Chair Belser?
Commissioner Carolee Williams?
Thank you. I move that the commission approve the applications for Class C certificates in items number 1, 2, and 3 as listed by Mr. Scarborough.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Carolee Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
And Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 4 is in docket number 2013-272T, which is the request of Integrity Student Transportation Services, LLC, to amend Class C Charter Bus Certificate number 0346 to read Legacy Student Transport LLC.
With regard to transportation agenda item 4, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, may I make a motion?
Vice Chair Powers.
Thank you. I move the commission grant the request of Integrity Student Transportation Services LLC to amend its Class C Charter Bus Certificate number 0346 to read Legacy Student Transport LLC. So moved.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote. Vice Chair Powers.
Vote aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 5 is in docket number 2022-374T, which is the request of Black Retriever Van Holdings LLC to amend Class C Charter Certificate number 9763 to reflect statewide authority.
With regard to transportation agenda item 5, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Irvin.
thank you. I move that the commission grant the request of Black Retriever Van Holdings LLC to amend its Class C Charter Certificate number 9763 to reflect statewide authority. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Irvin. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Madam Chair and Commissioners, this concludes all business noticed before the commission today.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough. As that concludes the business today, we will adjourn the meeting until next Thursday, February 2nd, will be our next meeting, February 2nd at 2 p.m. We are adjourned. Thank you.